Napija nanishtahi, nanishtahi numaga, napija yarua, nanishtahi, tsunami, nanishtahi, diapa, nanishtahi pa, bijapa, nanishtahi, mogui, spirit, what we say, bija, puni, what we see, yarua, what we say in a good way, bija tumia. We do who via we do 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 we do we do oh, morning, relatives. Well, we're still in DC. A little update on the War Pony is that the War Pony is continually from all three camps. The mechanic is working on the vehicle now, and he's wondering, he said your vehicle must have had a lot of prayers on the vehicle. We got a native mechanic up here in Washington, D.C. It's awesome. Taking care of the vehicle, going to give us a good discount on the parts. But there was so much mud underneath from Osheti, the camp where we were stuck. And several times we got stuck trying to help people, try to film, try to pack things in and out. And yeah, it was tough. We got stuck hard. Mud was all the way up to the fan. And apparently I got a hole in my radiator, and there was so much mud around it. It kind of kept the hole from getting bigger. And the mechanic said that there was a lot of prayers around that vehicle because even the ball joints are gone, the struts are gone in the front and the back. Just had an alignment done. The wires were hanging on the two front tires on the inside, so it was pretty done. The vehicle was at a hard time. The blinkers wires, I don't know if you guys remember, they were pulled out at the casino. My wires were pulled out of my taillights, so they don't completely all work in consistency. We got them just to work enough, and then every single engine light was on, and emergency brake was snapped. So it's like there was so many things wrong with this vehicle, and it was still going, and it still got us where we needed to go. We actually pulled the trailer, and I was wondering why it was swerving all over the road at 45 miles an hour. So we got the trailer where we needed it to go at that time, and a lot of prayers, a lot of blessings, and a lot of all the three camps were on the vehicle from the mud, and just shared with the mechanics about the story of Standing Rock and how people stood strong from all four directions. Indigenous people from all over the country and all over the world came, and what it meant to get this vehicle back on the road, and what it's done there at the camps and pulling people out and helping transport and tell our story and share our story. And so he was pretty amazed, and he actually knew about Standing Rock as well. Several mechanics that went through. The first guy stayed up until midnight to fix the vehicle. This was a guy that did the tires and the suspension, the front alignment. But that's the update on the War Pony. It's still going good. We'll find out today. The radiator had no fluid in it, so it ran on no radiator fluid all the way here to Washington, D.C. from Standing Rock. And we still was able to deliver supplies to Rosebud down there, to the Cheyenne River tribe, the camp. So there's so many blessings that are coming. Morning, sister. Oh, Terry. But I'm gonna thank you guys for helping out with that. The vehicle, we put a PayPal up to help offset the cost. And this is the third time it's been in the shop for underneath, and it had a lot to do with the movement behind Standing Rock and getting the message out. Was having a vehicle there that can go through the mud and then participate in the stories there and share the stories. So thank you guys all for your support. I'm going to move on to the museum. So we did a short video on the museum over there. My cousin, she works down in the museum in Fallon, Nevada. And we talked about a little bit about how the museums are going to, around there, the non-native museums are going to start to profit off of Standing Rock, off of this movement. And I got an email from the Bismarck Museum to donate one of my drones. And so I came up here to DC. As one of the goals here was to go to the museum and donate a drone to the museum of current events that are happening here. And you know, there's a lot of things that don't get on my radar, and once they're on the radar, it really just makes you think about where we are today as Indigenous people. But here's the mission statement for the museum. The National Museum of American Indian is committed to advancing knowledge of understanding of the Native culture of the Western Hemisphere, past, present, and future. Through partnership with Native people and others, the museum works to support the continuance of culture, tradition, values, and traditions in contemporary Native life. Contemporary. Okay, so what does that mean in contemporary? That means today, current events. So I called the museum to schedule a interview with Kevin Gover. He's not here, he's in the Southwest. They were transferring me to public affairs, their public relations, and I asked if I could be transferred to a tribal member, because, you know, a tribal member speaking on behalf of the museum just makes sense to have a tribal member speaking on behalf of our Indigenous people. And no luck. So if you guys want to call through, feel free to call through. We're going to continue to do an interview, but I didn't see anything current in the museum. And you can see on the last video we did of the museum, that was the big issue there at the museum, was nothing was current. These current issues that were happening at Standing Rock. So we need to hold our own selves accountable. People in leadership, they're accountable to share the story today that's happening. And it's not political in the sense that, you know, look at all the issues that are in there, political, about treaties, things like that. So, you know, we've got to be mindful how we do it, be respectful. And I think it's appropriate to have a position in the museum as current events. Kevin Gover, thank you guys for doing some research on the director there. He's there. So we're able to call the number and continue to try to help educate and empower. And how do we get that there? We do know they have the if you guys remember the sign at the end of Flag Road with all the different signs of tribes on there. That's there. So and the flags that are up on the wall, that were up on Flag Road too, I think those should be there. So there's just a part of history that we can tell now ourselves. So many of you guys know in the very beginning, it was so important to say, why do Indigenous people need to be here at Standing Rock filming, journalizing, writing press releases, and sharing our story? Is because it's got to come through us, this historical moment. It's got to come through us about both sides of the pipeline, even documenting Standing Rock, even documenting the leadership, the community, not just Bismarck and the Morton County Police Department. Digital Smoke Signals has been documenting both sides of the barricade. And we've learned a lot through that. And also, you know, there's a repeat of history happening here with you're looking at the different movements that happened throughout history with Wall Street and Black Panthers and AIM and now Standing Rock. So the leaders take good note on the division. If you're not communicating with the community, and they're not on your side or your support, you gotta fix that. We're seeing that happen here, and we are watching a lot of venting happening on Facebook. And so I want everyone to know to find the healing that you can, and let it go. Let that heal, role model the teachings you put out there. Do the best you can to fix it, because now is a time we stand in unity. and there's we're getting ready to document several other camps that need your help, need your support. And what can we learn from the leadership at Standing Rock? What can we learn from the community at Standing Rock? What can we learn from Osheti, Shakoan, Rosebud, Heyoka Camp, and Sacred Stones? These are the things that we need to document as well, because Iowa is still going strong. Other places, Iowa, I was told yesterday, had 500 total arrested. So I'm still learning about those other camps, and where do we go from here? Well, we started off at Standing Rock with somebody trying to figure out, when I used to get calls and say, my auntie is making a delivery down there, can you go down to the barricade? They're saying nobody's letting them through. And I'd go shoot down to the National Guard barricade and drive through and drive back, film it. And that's how it started, is to fact check all the things that were happening here, and continued to fact check, and just went out and put myself in the line of fire to make sure that we did have a clear road. When we got a video sent and they were saying the police are coming to raid, and here's a video showing they're leaving Bismarck, and then we get down there and they find out they're doing shift change. It's like that's the things that we have to do, is to fact check, continue to fact check. So there's lists of pipelines popping up showing support. There's an Amish pipeline. There's more native pipelines. There's the Cheyenne River. There's one in Oklahoma. There's one in Iowa and Pennsylvania, down in Oregon. We're building a map, and these are the things that we do have so much more to do. What's next afterwards? As to date, 824 water protectors have been arrested at Standing Rock State, federal, and tribal. 824 water protectors. So you can continue to support water protectors. And here's a note: the money does not go through the tribe. It goes directly to the water protectors this time. So you can go straight through to the water protectors by supporting the Water Legal Collective, which will post up a video. I made sure that I checked with them and said, does it go through the tribe? And they said, no, it goes directly to the water protectors. So that's very important for the support that we're seeing out there, and the trumped up charges that are being handed to the water protectors in clumps. Mind you, they arrested, up to 50 people at a time, and they would give them all the same charge, which makes no sense. They didn't do their homework. They didn't do it accurately on who they were arresting. And I got friends that were in a prayer circle that were given inciting a riot. They were in a prayer circle, which we're going to document and put that out online as well. So you're going to see we're going to do the best we can to help our water protectors through a visual, legal narrative. And after Standing Rock, I got to tell you, I do know all the people, agencies now that monitor digital smoke signals. I mean, it's just, you guys heard in the beginning when I list them all off, and they're still watching. So we're going to continue to educate, empower, pray for you and your families, and also pray for the water that you drink. And that thank you for bringing this mass awareness of injustice that has united not just the United States and our non-native relatives, but the world. And that is one of the scariest things, is that this is united. And with the next president coming in, that's in, it would also unite us even stronger. So the more that they throw at us, the more that they shoot mace, the more that they arrest us as journalists, the more that they try to suppress us, it really just unites us as a whole, as a people, as a human race. And that's what we're seeing here happening all throughout the country. It's very powerful to meet people and hear them share their stories, and such beauty and power. Much sacrifice everyone has taken as well. A lot of sacrifice. But remember, relatives, if you got some hurt in your heart, and after things that are happening at Standing Rock in the community, the first step is with you to change your heart and let it go, and forgive and let those things go. Because as we start to divide, that's the conquer and divide theory. And we can't do it. We cannot repeat history again by doing it internally. We need to find ways to get around it. And remember, it's not about us. It's about the future generations, and to protect that in a good way. So relatives, pay attention to the divestments that's happening down in San Francisco, how they did theirs, how Seattle did theirs. And you can make some contacts down there, and divestment, no DAPL, and share that in your community on how to do it as well. So many blessings. We'll do another update. And we're in here in Washington, D.C., moving and shaking and still making it happen here. And man, Uber is everywhere. So we need an Uber on the reservation. That's what I didn't see in Standing Rock. We needed an Uber down there. Oh, relatives. Mogui, the spirit, what we say, Bisha, Puni, what we see, Yadawa, what we say in a good way. Bisha Tumia. We do who via we do we do who via we do we do who via we do we do who. Little update on the War Pony is that the War Pony is continually from all three camps. The mechanic is working on the vehicle now, and he's wondering, you know, he said your vehicle must have had a lot of prayers. We do we do we do oh, morning, relatives. Well, we're still in DC. The bija na nishtahai, the nishtahai numaga, the bija yarua, the nishtahai, tsunami, the nishtahai, diapa, the nishtahai pa, bijapa, the nishtahai.